Hey, Ag Teacher Christmas here, coming at you with another video. Well, it's well into the second week of November, and it's pretty much t-shirt weather here in northern Idaho. But it's time for us to set up one of the most popular elements of our Christmas display. In fact, when I first put that in the first year, I knew that it's got to be in there every year. So if you've ever heard the old Christmas song, "I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas," that's this element. So what we're doing today is we are installing our hippopotamus frames. These are all 1/4-inch bar stock wire frames that I designed myself and welded together. So no, unfortunately, you can't go out and buy them. But in addition to that, we have to make a Hippo River. So our Hippo River is going to consist of just over 2,000 lights. In fact, I've got about 1,750 just in one case alone, right here. Yes, that's right. When I buy Christmas lights, I only buy them in case quantities because I want to make sure that they all match. So these are brand new strings, never been used before, and that's what we're going to use to put this river together. So it is going to be blue LEDs on green wire. And each of those is going to be held up by an 8-inch yardstake. This keeps those lights up off the grass and avoids us from having issues like shorting out through ground faults, which is basically electricity goes from that wire down into the ground and it trips one of our GFCI breakers. So I use these to isolate them from the ground. It raises them up, and it also keeps the lights visible as that grass does continue to grow throughout our decorating season. So without further ado, we're going to get this designed, but the first thing you should know is even though we're designing a Hippo River, there is going to be a few sections where there's a gap all the way to my back fence because I still have to be able to take the garbage out. And that's the way I do it, is down that way, because it's got to come out to the curb here. So there's going to be a blank spot about 3.5 feet wide or so, and it's going to wind around as it goes up our Hippo River. So join me in this process. This is going to be a multi-part video because there's a lot more to cover than what I can do in just one video. So first thing we're going to do is kind of stake out that design of where the Hippo River is going to flow, and I'm going to do that using our yard stakes. Now, if I have some taller ones, I may use those. It gives me a little bit more of a marker, and then I can reserve these just for the lights themselves. So let me stake that out. So if you can't see it, the Hippo River is going to start behind the tree, and it's going to kind of weave in and out. I did this kind of because I want some movement to it. And if I need to adjust it later because I don't like it, I'll go ahead and do that. But I wanted to make sure that it has some wiggles and waves so you can definitely tell that it is a river. I really do hate having a blank spot in the middle, but you know, every person who does a display has to accommodate something. And in this case, I've got to accommodate those trash cans. So I'm gonna go ahead and match the stakes. So the ones that are on this side, I'm gonna make a gap and put them on the other side. And then we'll go ahead and start filling them in with our light stakes. So I made a spacer as wide as my trash can. Let's see if we can get it down there. Yep, looks like the trash cans will fit. So now it's time to get this back up by the leaf pile. And I'll fill it a little bit later, but we're gonna get some of those lights put up. Well, I forgot these came on white wire. So you're really gonna be able to see them at night, but blue lights are blue lights. They're hard to come by. They don't generally last a long time. And the store I got them from, it doesn't exist anymore. They're holiday time lights. Yep, 50 on a white wire. Hey, they seem to be at least semi-sealed. I haven't actually plugged any of these in to see what they look like, but we're gonna put them out there anyway. So I think the first thing I'm gonna do is kind of lay some out, and just kind of get an idea of the way the layout's gonna look. Now, this takes a lot of work. Spacing isn't very far on those. Looks like about 3 inches. So it's a good thing I have a lot of them. Yeah, they already want to get on the post. So we're going to set these out. When you put out Christmas lights, they generally have a little bit of kind of built-in memory in there, and it's going to take a while for that memory to come out. So during the season, these are going to sag, and that's where I come in and I just put a little loop around one of the stakes to bring that tension back up so that these don't droop down. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to start in our bottom corner here, and we're going to do kind of a zigzag pattern with the stakes, and we'll fill in with lights a little bit later. Okay, we're going to put our spacing, I think roughly about 18 inches. Hoping I don't run out of blue lights. Come out here a little bit more. One out a little bit more. Okay, let's get ready to add some of those lights. For my Christmas light tag clippers, those that don't like the clips on or the tags on them, I'm going to clip them later, but now I need to get some of these set up. So we're going to put our female plugs as far as we can from where we're working, because our electrical outlets and plugins are going to be behind us. So there's no reason to have them all the way out here. Otherwise we'd be running a cord all the way out. We just do a zigzaggy pattern back. We're going to stretch these just a little. New strings tend to have a lot more memory in them than the old ones. So the old ones get a chance to relax in the summer heat. And I didn't take any of these out to do that. You can do it with a hairdryer, take the memory out, but I've got so many of these, I'm not going to worry about that. Yeah, we're going to go through a lot of lights. These don't come with a replaceable bulb, so once these strings are done, they're done. That's okay. We got them on super clearance anyway. Okay, so whenever I have a male connection, generally come back in and I put my first connection back here under the tag. Whoops. Got to do that female first. There we go. Come back here and I'll do a couple of wraps. Just put that back here. I try to make sure I have my plugs facing down. Stretch a little bit of the memory out. And put the next bit of string in. This is pretty much how it goes. I think we'll just kind of empty out this last string so we know where we're going. All right, so there you go. That's how we go through and add a grid to our yard. So that's what you would call it when you run Christmas lights up on stakes and lines. It's called gridding. So this is going to be the river grid, and it's going to be actually on both sides of the pathway here. We're going to line some of that probably with green so that you know that there's some grass there. I might actually put green borders up the center of it. And then the hippos will be popping up on either side in the river. That's pretty much what I'm thinking for a design this year. Normally the hippos are in a line up front. So this year I've decided to dedicate this side of the yard to the hippos. I also moved the bulb tree to the other yard, the left-hand side yard. Not really done much decorating over there other than put in like the nativity, which this year we're going to use the blow mold nativity as our feature in the front main yard. So the wireframe nativity is going to take a year off. It's going to stay back in the storage shed, and we'll bring up the blow molds, which means I might need to do some retrofitting because some of them are kind of dim, and I want them to be nice and bright, so we'll work on that. But yeah, this is the way it's going to go. I'm going to work on it more tonight. I'll show you maybe some video tonight. If not, we'll shoot some video tomorrow so you can see how much work I get done. Now, it's not going to be easy to shoot video tonight because it's going to be dark, and I got to be kind of quiet because the neighborhood goes to sleep early. But anyway, I hope you're enjoying. I hope you're going to keep those little lights twinkling. Merry Christmas. Ag Teacher Christmas out.